Hello and welcome to Catachrist Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.catachrist.com. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and we're speaking with lead singer Wade Black from the band Chalice of Sin. Welcome, Wade.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Now, a lot of people, you're pretty well known throughout the metal community, and you previously played with Leatherwolf, Crimson Glory, and Seven Witches, and last time I think I interviewed you, you were in a band, Clockwork Revolution. Are you still with that project?
No, that's done.
Okay, so Chalice of Sin is your new band, and you guys are getting ready to release your debut album. When does the album come out? Do you guys have an official release date yet?
Already done.
Oh, it's already out. Okay, that's great.
Out everywhere worldwide. We've got over 125,000 hits so far on the video and streams and
you think that's just has to do with the fact that you're on a bigger label, which is Frontiers? Because I tell you, checking out the video for the title track, it's a pretty cool looking video.
Well, thank you very much. I think that yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you totally with that. I mean, this is one of the top record labels in the world, so you have a bigger fan base that they're able to traffic you through and get you out there, so it's absolutely wonderful. Family surfing, knowing everybody at Frontier is awesome.
And so let me ask you, Wade, like I said, you've been in a lot of other previous bands. How did this project come together? Was it something of a record company put together? Was it an existing band that you joined or something you formed?
I'll tell you exactly what ended up happening was Frontiers had gotten in touch with me. Serafino had gotten in touch with me to audition for another band that they had on their roster, and that was our first meeting. I started sending some music to Serafino. He liked it, He had gotten me in touch with Alessandro Del Vecchio, which has worked with Hardline, which has worked with Night Ranger, which has worked with all kind of bands. Striper, I call him on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey Al, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, I don't have much time to talk, man. I'm hanging out with Jack Blades and Night Ranger."
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, holy shit! You gotta be kidding me. So, for me to be in this kind of company is absolutely amazing. For me personally.
Yeah, and a lot of the previous bands that we mentioned that you were in, I mean, you were a great frontman in that, but it sounds like that you got the other guys in the band are of equal talent, and that's got to be really quite different for you. I mean, not that the other bands didn't have other talented musicians, but I mean, it really seems like for a band that's not been playing together, like for 10, 15 years, or these are guys that you grew up with, it seems like the band came together really quickly.
Right. Alessandro put together the whole band, which is actually Martin Anderson Jepsen. He plays in another band,
Yeah.
He plays in another band called Meridian, and he lives in Denmark. There's Mirko De Maio, which is actually the drummer for the Flower Kings.
Oh, wow.
So he did the drums. I think they just won some sort of Emmy or something like that last year. Great talent. Jason, you're only as good as the people that you're surrounded with, and I'm surrounded by so much talent that it makes it easy.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice sentiment, because, I was reading something in prepping for us days. I went on your Facebook page, and you said something to that effect that, these other guys in the band are just, as talented. And I think that's great that, that you're not one of those guys on an ego trip, that you realize that, no, everybody in the band kind of...
if you once, and this I've been doing this for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Once you start believing your own hype about your band and stuff, that's the time to quit.
Yeah.
There's nobody wants to hear egos, or I'm better than this guy, or I'm better than that guy. You really can't say that. Everybody's got their own style of what they do. So...
And what I think is interesting about this project is the other bands you've been that we mentioned that you were part of. They were established, groups, and they had kind of their own fan base and very popular among the metal community. But this band is kind of like just kind of being put together, so to speak, by the record company. And it's interesting the other guys are all from Europe. So when it came time to record and write the songs, what was that process like? Being that everybody's in different parts of the world.
I mean, Alessandro would put together a lot of the stuff musically, all of the stuff musically. Alessandro had his hands in, and it's just, we just started shipping songs. Alessandro would send it back, say, fix this, do that, do this 2 more times, and so on and so forth as a producer role. And, I've said this before as well, you can put the best people in the world in one room, but you're not guaranteed, that. You're not guaranteed a record deal. You're not guaranteed anything, unless you're able to turn in good homework, and that's a simple fact.
Yeah, and what I'm kind of interested in about this band is again, it's not like you've known these guys and grew up with them for 13, 14 years, or you knew them from the music scene. Like I said, they're in other parts of the world. A lot of times when you form a band or you're joining a band, you guys have been in the studios for creating the songs and creating it all together. This is a very different kind of approach, and yet it seems as if the chemistry is there. And you haven't even probably met any of these guys face to face, and yet when you listen to the album, you'd think that the band must have recorded this stuff together in the same studio.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. We take a lot of pride in what we do. I took a break for a little bit, and kind of did my own thing. But when we came back with this record, I wanted to make a statement. It's okay to not do something for a little. It's okay to do nothing sometimes. The bands that are doing, a record a year or whatever, kind of seem to lack once you get to that 3rd and 4th record, But we wanted to come out strong out of the gate. The band has a European feel to it with the keyboards and everything else, the guitar players from Denmark. So, we just wanted to put our best foot forward, and we had a great time recording this, and I hope everybody digs it.
Yeah, and I think when you say you wanted to make a statement, I really do think you did, because for a lot of reasons. Like I said, for example, some people know that you previously were with Leatherwolf and Crimson Glory, and again, these are bands that metal fans are probably going to be aware of who they are, and you could have gone in and said, okay, people already know me from Leatherwolf or Crimson Glory, I'm going to make something that sounds like that. But you went in there, at least to my ears, and it sounded like as great as those credentials are as far as previous bands that you come from, you didn't go and make a carbon copy of what you did before. You're like, you know what, I want to make a statement, and I want to these songs are going to be about what's going on in my life now, and that's really what it sounds like.
Right. I agree with that. The way that I had sung on the Crimson Glory record was like a clean, high kind of thing. The stuff I did with Leatherwolf was like no vibrato whatsoever. And I had a chance to work with Joe Floyd in Redondo Beach, which is work with Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson and everything. It was absolutely amazing. But it's just the way that the pieces fall in there.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. You say about that you took a little break from the music scene for a while. It kind of it makes you think sometimes about why things happening for a reason. For example, we recently had just a couple of days ago, earlier this week, the passing of Mike Howe from Metal Church. He's another guy that
what a legend. I'm very, very sorry to hear that, man. Way too young for sure.
And when you look at what happened with Mike Howe, it's kind of interesting, because that guy took a break from the music scene for almost 20 years before he returns to Metal Church, and as sad as it is that he passed so young, tragically young, you got to look like he got a second chance at least. He got a chance to go back to Metal Church and give it one more.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job, man. And hats off to him. And that band has always been synonymous, and one of the top that people are looking at. So
Yeah, I mean, Metal Church, I mean, I think they could have been much bigger. I think the only thing that really held them back is, they had all these great singers, but I think that was the kind of thing is you never really knew who the singer was. They were constantly changing, and that's a very key element in any band is, who is the lead singer.
Right. It's always kind of weird, with bands that always are changing singers and this and that, and you're always going to get a different vibe from that. You're going to get a different vibe from the fans. You're going to get a different vibe from the music, and sometimes people bite onto it, and they still like the band because the singer's good, It's just like Dino going into Whitesnake.
Yeah.
Like the speculation is that he'll eventually sing for Whitesnake and David Coverdale's going to step out.
That ought to be very interesting, I was almost thinking maybe he's going to be some kind of backup singer. I don't know, because they haven't really fully...
Somebody said he was playing keyboards and singing backups.
They've already got a keyboard player, though.
My synopsis on the whole deal is that he'll end up being the singer for Whitesnake, and good for that kid, man. He's a great singer. He's young. He's vibrant. He's got a great voice. And God bless him, man. I hope that he conquers the world.
Yeah, and I think this will be their way. They're going out on their farewell tour, supposedly. I think maybe it's David Coverdale's farewell tour, and maybe he wants to play a hand in his own replacement. I mean, that's kind of a different, outlook on things.
Right. I saw David Coverdale do a Facebook Live today, welcoming him into the band.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit, man. I mean, fucking just roll out the red carpet for this fucking cat, right?
I mean, people fail to realize, I think David Coverdale is almost like 70 years old. And so,
I know.
As great of a singer as he is, his pipes are probably kind of really beaten at this point.
But what do you do? I mean, it's like Todd LaTorre.
Yeah.
And he came in there and he did the job.
Yeah.
He did the job. He sounds exactly like Jeff Tate, and the newer records. And this is what I really think cemented him into that position are the new records that he made and how incredible they were.
And see, I think what cemented him too in Queensryche is he didn't go in there trying to fill Jeff Tate's shoes. He didn't go in there trying to be a carbon copy of what came before. He
was the singer. He was the singer in Crimson Glory after I left.
Yeah. And see,
so I had a chance in rehearsals, in Crimson Glory rehearsals, and Todd had came in and he started singing, and heard that he was a drummer and this and that, and I was like, wow, man, I mean, this kid can really sing, and God bless him, look at what he's done with it.
Yeah, and see,
I'm proud of him.
And the other thing I think with Queensryche too is, sadly for Jeff Tate, kind of the way he went out. There's a lot of nasty stuff between him and the former members.
I heard there was some spitting involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Somebody spits on me, I'm slapping somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, and even fans hear that, and it's kind of like, well, what's wrong with this guy?
Right, and once those stories kind of get out, I've had a couple altercations. I'm no angel.
Yeah.
So. I've had a couple little mishaps and stuff that I'm not really all that proud about and stuff, but you got to stand up for your rights sometimes.
Yeah.
You get pushed around long enough, you stand up for yourself, and then you're the asshole.
Yeah.
So but that's just the way that the business is. They kind of take me, they wring me out of all my talent, and then throw me away.
Yeah,
we've got what we need from you. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The parallels kind of between you and Todd LaTorre, not just the fact that you were both in Crimson Glory, but because I noticed one thing about you're a guy that has been in many bands throughout the years, but I think very much like what you're saying Todd LaTorre did with Queensryche. Every band you've kind of been in, Wade, in the past, you don't go in there trying to sound just like a carbon copy of the guy that came before you. It's always been my impression you go in there and try to put your stamp on the band yourself.
Right. You always got to have your own style, your own being.
Yeah.
Your own style. You're the way that you sing it. I mean, that's your trademark.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like somebody else. When I was in Crimson Glory, I didn't come in there and try to sound like you.
That's my point, yeah, and I think that's why the fans accepted you,
Right? They could have chewed me up and spit me out.
Yeah.
But they did exactly the total opposite, and they loved me.
Because I mean,
I tried to emulate, and you're emulating a legend.
Yeah.
That when I read emails back from the record company saying we will not sign Crimson Glory without Midnight. Period.
Wow.
It took about a year until we got the record done and he started shopping it that we got a bite. So it's just weird how things end up happening. So you're offered something.
Yeah.
But you yourself, you have to come in there and you have to do that job, and you have to do that job to their specifications in order to finish the chore.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much like when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, myself included. A lot of people felt, oh no, who the hell are they going to get to replace that guy? Nobody is going to possibly be able to do it. They got Sammy Hagar, and a very different type of singer and very different type of songwriter, but he fit the part, and they had 4 number one albums, and so at that point the record company said, okay, maybe we're going to stick with this guy.
Right. When they try Gary Cherone or somebody else, I think Gary's a great singer. Do I think he's a match to sing for Van Halen? Absolutely not.
No.
Get an extreme reunion and come out and do your thing.
Yeah.
It's always hard coming in another band. And I can tell you firsthand that it's always hard, being that person.
Yeah.
How much scrutiny and stuff that I came under, from some people.
Oh yeah.
When I was over there, and I was just like, wow, God, you guys are just
brutal,
fucking mean.
And I think one of the guys that I think really had it the worst was Jake E. Lee when he was in Ozzy's band, because I mean you see all those diehard Randy fans like, fuck you, Jake.
Oh God!
Right?
Hit him in the head with a fucking shoe, right?
Yeah. I mean, after that, you could see,
it just is, But you've got to love that guy, that particular guy that's in that band for the talent that he brings to it and stuff, man. Don't try to pigeonhole him on trying to sound like the guy that was before him.
Yeah, and I think I think too, a lot of fans. I mean, it could go the other way in the sense that I think maybe, like even in your case, like in Crimson Glory, fans maybe eventually realize, well, if they didn't get this guy, maybe the band would have been forced to break up, or there wouldn't even be a new album.
Right. I say this about other singers coming into other bands. If you still get quality music from these bands, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's good. You still got the band. It's not gone. You still got a little bit of the tinge and the flair of the original band, but still, you still got the band. Still love it.
Yeah.
And stop bitching.
Yeah. I mean, or you get another scenario, which is like the Skid Row scenario, which is those guys in Skid Row. They hate Sebastian so much that they flat out said, no matter what the offer, we're never going to play with that guy again. They've gone through about 4 or 5, 6 singers.
Right.
But and then it's the bass player and the guitar player that wrote all those hits we love anyway. So they like, well, we wrote the stuff. We'll just get somebody else that can do it better.
Right. It's like that Rockstar movie.
Yeah.
Me and TJ, we write all the songs, okay?
Yeah.
And you sing it.
Yeah. And so get back to, am I pronouncing it right? Is it Chalice? Chalice of Sin?
Chalice, like the cup.
Okay.
Like Jesus's cup, like the chalice, the chalice of sin.
And now, that's you guys got a title track on there. So I was kind of curious why you chose the title of the album after that song. Was it your favorite, or what was the scenario, and why you guys?
That was actually Alessandro's deal.
Okay.
It was a title to one of the first couple of songs that we had written together with him. Yeah. And I asked him, I was like, well, what do you want to call the band? And he was like, well, how about Chalice of Sin? And I was like, I love it.
Now, Frontiers is a great label because, when they first launched that label, what they were initially doing was signing a lot of these, like, 80s artists, like, guys like Stephen Pearcy from Rat that, okay, hey, Stephen, we'll give you a solo deal. Or, Michael Sweet, who's done many different albums with them, not just in Stryper, but...
Tracy Guns, he just did a record with.
Yeah, and now they kind of launched into this thing where not so much just '80s superstars, but they're creating these projects like what you're involved with. And so, what's the plans going ahead for Chalice of Sin? I mean, is it you get this one seems like it's taken off? So, are there plans maybe for a follow up? Are you talking about doing any live shows?
We have since the band's over in Europe and stuff, and I'm over here in America. It's kind of hard to get together with that. I know that we're going to start working on the next record. I know that we're going to have a brand new single that we're going to start working on here pretty soon. I just talked with Alessandro just recently, and yeah, man. I mean, I want to go and tour. I want to go and do it all. That's just me. With the festivals and everything being so jammed up because it's been closed down for the last couple of years. Yeah.
Now there's more of a chance of that being that this is a big European label that a lot of artists on Frontiers, for example, they get to play the festivals. I imagine, is that correct?
Well, it all depends on how many records you sell.
But
I mean, they're just not giving those spots away at the so it costs in order to go and play something like that. But we're hoping that we'll get a chance to get out and tour, and we're definitely going to record another record. That's definitely in the mix. It's just it's just a good position to be in. And it's an interesting position to be in because, like I said at the top of the interview, you've been in all these other bands. We mentioned Leatherwolf and Crimson Glory, and people know you from that, and you continue to do these other things, and like it's very nice that when you get offered to do something like this, that they don't want you going and sound like those other bands. It's like, no, this is a new project, and this is who you're working with, and it's kind of planned out ahead. I think it's kind of cool. You guys are getting released like the second single. You're already talking about the second album. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, they've got a great attitude about how they deal with stuff. Serafino and everybody at Frontier are total pros. My writing partner, Richard Marks, that wrote these songs with me for Chalice of Sin. We also have a band called War of Thrones, which we're working on a release for as well. So definitely look out for that. I'm actually going to be appearing in Belgium with Seven Witches, which I had done a record with Jack Frost. And hello, Jack Frost, and hello, James Rivera, Mr. Vampiro. But we'll be, this is going to be a Seven Witches reunion that's over there. James is singing. I'm coming and singing a single song, Metal Tyrants, that I wrote with Jack.
So talk about the Seven Witches reunion.
So it should be very interesting, man. The first time back over in Europe in a couple of years. It's not that far to go and travel to Italy. It's not hard to go and do that. If the guitar player comes down to Denmark and stuff, then we can do shows. But it all depends on Alessandro's tied up with what he does. So we're just we're in songwriting mode right now, and we're going to move forward. We're also my bass player and I, Rich Marks, are on the new Vivaldi metal project, which has everybody on it. My God, Mike Portnoy, and everybody. You're talking about some of the best talent in the entire world. I had just done a couple other guest appearances. My friend Gabriel Pomero, that lives in Hamburg, Germany. I just did a song for his Tragedian record, and I think they're on Soul Food, if I'm not mistaken.
Soul Food. Wow,
and
I like that.
I had the pleasure. I don't mean to interrupt you at all.
Yeah, no.
I also had the pleasures of singing One Vision on Ian Perry from Consortium on the Rock Emporium record as well. Always trying to keep busy. Always trying to recreate myself. Some people made a quote. I'm actually going to register this. They call me the Metal Chameleon.
Well, I like that.
I can just hop on something in other bands and this and that, and do so many different things. So
Wade, you should really strongly. I love that. I mean, you should really strongly consider trademarking that.
That's going to be my new hashtag. My new thing. I'm going to make T-shirts and everything, man. I'll send you one.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, even just for you, how to market yourself, that's a cool thing. I mean, Rob Halford, started out, with the song "Metal God," and
Right.
that's what he's known for, these days. Yeah, and you really are the true metal chameleon in that sense. That I mean, like I said, each time I talk to you, you're involved in something different. But that's cool too. But so is a guy like Tim Ripper Owens. I mean, he could have, when he left Judas Priest, just like launched a solo career. But I mean, every time you turn around, he's not just in KK's Priest now, but he's got a million other projects.
That guy is in everything. Oh my God! when Three Tremors came through here, I had talked with Sean Peck. And hi, Sean. I'm the biggest Sean Peck fan.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. I think that he is just the coolest man. He's like the James Brown of metal.
Yeah, better. I'm gonna tell you something. You better really trademark that before he gets wind of it.
I know. He's listening to me. He'll listen to me on the interview and stuff, and then he'll steal it from me.
Well, you know why I say that? Do you know the story behind the Three Tremors? I don't know if you realize. Going back to the first Halford album, there's that song that him and Bruce Dickinson, the one you love to hate, and then originally they were going to do it. They did a tour with him and Jeff Tate, and the three of them, and they were going to do an album and call it the Three Tremors. And they talked about it for several years. They never did anything with it. So Sean Peck got the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a band.
He's just Sean Peck is just a juggernaut. I can't say enough good things about him, man. Killer guy, great person, great business. Everything. When Three Tremors came down through here in Tampa, I had talked with Sean, and I go and get up and sing a song, and then he's like, yeah, no problem. And he was like, get up, sing Painkiller with us at the end, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, he really.
We walk into the club, and they play a little bit, and then they call me up, and Ripper's like, he's like, where's Wade Black at? And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, it's my time to get up, right. And he goes, you guys know any Crimson Glory, no War of the Worlds or anything?
Wow.
You guys, any of you? And guy got up there and sang Painkiller, and it was absolutely wonderful. Harry ended up giving me his microphone, and I got up there and just laid down the law.
Yeah, and Sean, I tell you, for years he was just with his band Cage, and then now he's got Death Dealer and all these other things. He gives you a run for your money, Wade. But
he does. I know it. That son of a bitch. You can't down the man for putting out killer music. You should hit him up about his maybe you and him doing a record together. I mean, that would be a cool thing, the two of you. I think so. He's actually, now that you mentioned that, he's actually going to sing on the new War of Thrones record that I was telling you about.
Oh, wow.
I've actually got, now that we're on that subject, I got Patrick Johansson from Yngwie Malmsteen drums coming down this weekend to come and do tracks. Mm-hmm. I've got Bill Hudson from Udo, Doro, and TSO that's actually going to come and guest on the record as well. So
this
new record with the steam that we have, our fucking street cred's up, so we might as well. We're going to blast out with another great record. So
because I'll be honest with you. The reason I reached out to you about doing the interview is your publicist Dustin. He sent me a press release on the band, and I'm like, wait, is this thing Wade Black I talked to a couple of years ago? And sure enough, it was. And I tell you that they've been sending a ton of stuff on the internet. Over the internet, I've seen a ton of posts about this band and this album, and they're just really pushing it,
Yeah, we've had tons of hits and stuff, man. I mean, we've had a really, really good. I think we got what did we get? 3.5 out of, or what we get? A 75 out of 100 from Loud and Proud.
Yeah, and what's really impressive, about this label, the way they push their artists is, I mean, you don't even read like any, you don't see any advertisements for it about like, featuring X Crimson Glory singer, Wade Black. It's just who's in the band, and they're not trying to sell on any of your past glories, which that's quite an achievement in itself. But I think they're really selling it as a new band, and that's what it is, and people are just checking it out like it is a new band.
Right. I think, and this is the coolest thing for me, is that I've always been in other bands, covering other singers. Yeah. With this is giving me my identity, my whatever stronghold on what I do. It's mine. I own it. I'm not covering for anybody else, and it's just a great feeling, man. You know, I work really hard. Took War of Thrones over, and we played a Sabaton over before all this pandemic stuff happened, and things really started taking off for the band and stuff, you know, and then just slammed shut.
Yeah, you know, and people were excited when I announced on my page the other day that I was going to be chatting with you about the new album, and you know, I think people are just really checking it out, and not even necessarily about any of your past bands, just like I immediately went to check out the video. Said this is pretty cool stuff. You know, like if you're a metal fan, I really think people are gonna dig it, and it doesn't even you know, matter if it you know, the other guys are in Europe or anything. It's not like an all European band, not that, but you know what I mean. It really sounds like a band that's tight and been together for many years. That's what it sounds like.
I appreciate that. We did our job, you know, and hopefully, you know, people will think that we did our job well.
And like
it's
you said,
just, you know, a piece of music that we feel strongly about.
And like you said, everything
like
you do.
Like I said before, we just wanted to come out and make a statement.
I think you did.
And let everybody know that the way Black's back. I actually wrote a song, and I said, I'm going to stamp you with the WB so you can go around and brag that you knew me. So it's funny that it's actually a song.
You know, you got so many
one
great
of my friends that I'm not friends with anymore. So.
You got so many great slogans you made throughout this interview. I mean, the WB that reminds me of Warner Brothers, but you know,
that's going to be my new logo. Maybe I'll put it on the Metal Chameleon shirt. And then combo the
Metal Chameleon WB is back.
The fuck out of here! And you know, I'm just I'm graced, I'm blessed, I'm humbled.
Yeah.
I'm everything all at the same time, man. And I'm just in a great position. My life is absolutely beautiful right now, and hopefully things will keep going in the forward direction.
Yeah, I don't know if you're at all a Kiss fan, but it kind of reminds me, the way I hear you talking like that is when Ace Frehley put out his first post-Kiss solo album, and he had that song, it was going back to 1987, but he had a song called Rock Soldiers, and there's a line in there that says, you know, Ace is back and I told you so.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Wade Black's back and he told you so.
Yeah. But,
Black Soldier.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Nice. See?
Yeah.
Brutal.
And so wait, when you were taking your break from the music scene for a few years, what were you doing? Like, did you continue writing music, or did you just kind of go and do other things?
My wife and I, we traveled a lot around Europe, and just chilling out, man. You know, sometimes when you're in it deep, you know, it kind of sucks the soul out of you.
Yeah.
You know, and I had just came to that point to where I just needed to take a break. I just, you know, I wasn't feeling like, you know, I was delivering any kind of, you know, vibes or anything. So I took a break for a long time.
Maybe that's what you needed, because you're coming back in a big way with this album. I mean, the way people are reacting to it. How involved were you with for writing? Because obviously you're a singer, but like, you know, did the other guy, he write most of the stuff and you just singing on it, or did you have a role in the writing?
We have a very unique, myself and Rich Marks, which is bass player in War of Thrones, by the way. We have a very unique working situation. I've been with him for the last 11 years. Wow. We've written a lot of songs together over the years, and when it came to this, you know, we actually approached it in a different kind of way. You know, we're like, wow, you know, you kind of write to the style of music that you're writing to.
Yeah. Or
like, you know, what are we going to write this song about, or this or that? You know, the Ashes of the Black Rose.
Wow.
You know, absolutely beautiful song. I mean, I think it's one of the best songs that I've ever heard. You know, not because I sing it, but the way that it's portrayed and the way that it's laid out. It's just beautiful arrangement.
So, like with Chalice of Sin, that's what I was asking. Like, were you involved in any of the lyric writing, or what were the songs already?
Absolutely. Yeah. Lyric writing and stuff. I mean, throws, melody lines, stuff of that nature. You know, when Rich and I work together, it just flows so easy. It's kind of like almost like the song writes itself sometimes. It's weird. And
you were mentioning the Seven Witches reunion. You know, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. How did that all come about? Did somebody reach out to you and say, hey, why don't we try to get back to...
I had heard that this was going to happen, that him and James were going to get together, and I had gotten a hold of James, and I go, hey man, I go, what's going on? You know, is there a chance I might be able to get up and sing a song? You know, Metal Tyrants. You know, and he goes, I'm not sure what's happening, COVID and everything else, and this and that. You know, but everything's good right now. The festival's going to happen. You know, I had talked with Jack. I hadn't talked with Jack for quite a while.
Wow.
Me and him hooked back up, and what a great guy. You know, sometimes things don't work out kind of like the way that you want them to.
Yeah.
You know, so but in the end, you know,
you can maybe
things end up working out.
Yeah,
you know
you maybe ended on a high note. And let me ask you: is there any chance did you say of any new music?
For what?
For Seven Witches, like if you guys say, hey, let's see.
No. There's going to be no music for him. I think that he's actually working with Alan Tecchio right now. I know that him and James are going to get together and they're going to record a new something. I don't know what those guys are doing. All I know is that Seven Witches is having a reunion, and Wade Black's going to jump up.
Oh,
and,
how cool!
Grind it out with Mr. Vampiro and Mr. Jack Frost. So.
And now, I think you've kind of answered this already, but I'm going to ask anyways. You're talking about, you know, kind of being a chameleon and liking to be involved in many different things. Did you ever consider, like, you know, trying to launch a Wade Black solo career, or, you know, your own band, or do you like kind of really just kind of being involved in many different things?
I mean, God, I guess every record that I've been on's kind of been like a solo record.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the one that's doing it, you know, kind of drive it the right way. But yeah.
And I think the interesting thing doing it that way, you don't get trapped like so many other guys that launch a solo career where, you know, Ozzy Osbourne, for example, you know, he's done many different types of albums, but people have that expectation that he's going to make nothing but, you know, Diary of a Madman or Blizzard of Oz.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you got to break out of your safety net sometime. It's just like when Rob Halford went and did that 2 record.
Yeah.
You know, the weird stuff. But that's just what that guy is into, you know, and he does what makes him happy as an artist. You know, you want to create something different. You don't want to, you know, create the same record 5 times. Yeah,
and I know you're a Judas Priest fan, and so I got to ask, did you get Rob's book and check it out?
I haven't read it yet. Yeah. Between him and John Oliva and Bruce Dickinson are probably a bunch of my favorite influences and stuff. I mean, you know, I'm 54 years old.
Yeah.
I love Lou Gramm from Foreigner. Of course, Queensryche, all of that stuff. Right now, I've been listening to some weird shit, man.
Like what?
All That Remains.
Wow.
Bullet from My Valentine. Static X.
Wow.
All kind of weird shit. My listening pleasures are all fucked up, man. I mean, it's all over the place.
On that note, I got to ask you, like when you were getting ready to record this album that we're talking about, Chalice of Sin, does what you're listening to, like, when you go in the studio, does it affect, like, kind of how you write, or does it have no effect on it?
No, I mean, we're just listening to the melodies and stuff, you know, and just trying to put something over the top of it that's going to sound good. So we're not, you know, we just want to make that connection and make it as good as we can. Yeah,
the reason I was asking if you read the Halford book is because, you know, it's interesting, and I'm guilty of this myself, being a Judas Priest fan for years. I remember, even as a teenager, thinking, oh, Priest is metal all the way, you know, you've seen them wearing those metal spikes, and then to hear Rob Halford talk about, you know, because for years he stayed in the closet about being gay, and you can kind of understand why he did, but, you know, I remember in an interview hearing him once talk about, you know, when he finally came out, he's like, yeah, you know, for years, Priest fans thought, yeah, Judas Priest is metal, and they wear spikes and leather and, you know, dimming, and he says, you know, I was on stage, you know, cranking a whip. He goes, this is stuff I got like in a London leather shop. People had no idea, you know, that I got it in a sex shop or anything, or what the metal and yeah. And so that just goes to show you, people have a certain image of something. Like again, Halford is our metal god, and nobody would have even thought what he was doing with those leather spikes, you know.
Yeah, I had some inclinations and stuff. You know? But you know what?
It doesn't matter.
To each his own and stuff. It does not matter. He's still the
no. And I was getting ready to say that because I think I was really surprised how accepting fans were, because again, this is our metal god, and not that it matters, but I thought it could have gone the other way, and I'm glad it didn't.
What do you think the Rockstar movie was about?
Yeah,
it was about him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Ripper coming in to
take
his life.
I mean, Rockstar, I liked it for what it was, but there were some innuendos were a little too obvious, in that movie. But yeah, wow. So, Wade, is there anything else you want to let the fans know before we wrap this up?
Go out and grab the new record, man. Record's great. New War of Thrones coming up that is absolutely spectacular. I mean, I hope that everybody likes the record that we did. We spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, I'll say this. I think if anybody that's a metal fan is going to dig it. And if you're a fan of Wade Black, it's going to live up to that. But, Wade, let's keep in touch, especially when that other album gets ready to drop. We can do this again because, like you said, you're a metal chameleon, I think, at this point on. And we're gonna do everything we can to support whatever you put out there.
Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time, Jason, all your listeners out there, and everybody around the world, man. We have a metal heart, and we will continue to bring you guys quality metal.
Oh yeah, especially from Wade Black. But I tell you, my friend, thanks for doing the interview, and I'm going to do my best to get it up, in early August, which is just next week. So probably maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday it'll be up. I'll let you know the minute it goes up.
We'll do that. Matters about August 1st is my birthday, man. So wish me happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Wade Black, the metal chameleon. And you're gonna celebrate your birthday, I know, in a metal way.
We're hanging out by the pool. We're having a barbecue and stuff. So
that's the way to do it.
I got Patrick Johansson coming down. Bill Hudson's gonna show up. So we're gonna party, man, like rock stars.
Oh, that's good. Now, before we go, Wade, I gotta ask. So where's home these days? Like, where are you living?
I live Madeira Beach, Mad Beach, Route 666.
Oh, wow.
In St. Pete, Florida.
Oh, Florida. Well, and I guess the final question I'll ask you. So, as far as bands getting out and playing in Florida, I imagine it's not as restrictive as it is here in California.
No, everything's starting to open up a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the bigger cities and stuff close down more, but everything seems to kind of like it's getting back to normal.
And what I guess it doesn't really affect you, but what do you think about the places where they're trying to you got to wear a mask when you're up on stage, and and letting people into the clubs and stuff? You got to prove you have a vaccine before you can get in.
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, I'm kind of iffy about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go up on stage with a mask on, for Christ's sake.
Crazy, yeah, crazy.
But then again, I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick. I've heard that people even have the vaccine have been getting sick.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell?
Hey, Metal Chameleon, before we let you go, I can't let you go without, we have a mutual friend, Joe Lawson, and he asked me to say hello to you.
I love Joe Lawson. That's a Scream King.
Yeah, hey, have you heard the show that me and Joe do? If not, I'll send you a link to check out the latest episode. We do this thing called This Is Metal.
Right. Do call me, bro. Or just give me the number, man. I'll call you when you guys are live.
Okay, yeah, me and him will see if we can set that up. Thanks again, Wade.